Al Foran here with OOSCH TV, and I'm here with my good pal Paul Smith. Paul, how are you, pal?
Good, thanks, mate.
How's this week been?
It's good. It's nice to see you. Always good to see you. It's been all right. It's a bit weird because you're non-stop 1 minute and then most of the day you got nothing to do and you're just walking around the hotel doing power walks, as you said.
We've been chasing Paul all week. I said it to him when you were walking by. What was it? When we arrived, I think it was Wednesday we first saw you. And every time we seen Paul Smith, he was power walking like Hal in the Malcolm in the Middle episode where he started taking up power walking. That was Paul Smith. Didn't stop you from me doing impressions for Buddy McGirt, did it?
I had him like a performer monkey. I was going, do Al Pacino, do Robert De Niro, do this. Buddy McGirt was in stitches laughing at it because he is American. He's quite like one of the most famous people in the world. Could walk in and Buddy wouldn't have a clue what it was. He just keeps his head down, himself to himself. But he's a funny fella. As soon as you started doing them, Joe Pesci and Eddie Murphy, he was in stitches laughing. He kept saying he's a funny guy. But no, it's good. It's good being here. You know yourself now. You've been around the hotel all week, and you know what it's like. Sometimes it's non-stop manic, and the next time it's like there's nothing really to do except sit and eat, have a coffee, go and have a sleep, have a lie down.
There's no in between, yeah.
There's no in between. Yeah, it's either you're non-stop until 3 in the morning, and then the next day it's like you're doing nothing, waiting for 7 o'clock to come so you get picked up, and then you go for the madness. So it's a bit of both, and usually you're stuck in the hotel because all the cars are busy with the fighters and doing whatever they're doing. But it's a good place. It's nice. It's nice having a little tiny bit of sun. It's only been a little bit. And can't wait for fight night. It's going to be some show in it.
Unbelievable show. What a card. We'll get to Callum in a bit. There's a few things I want to talk to you about, but just this card, all in all, it's amazing, isn't it? Even with the late replacements coming in.
Yeah. Some would say, especially with the late replacements in Martin Buatsi, that's a brilliant fight. You know, I felt Dubois might have had a bit too much towards the end for Parker. With Buatsi, it's different because of the not having a camp and not being sort of in the gym as much as you would be if you were fighting on this night yourself. With heavyweight, it's a bit easier because obviously he doesn't have to get the weight off and won't be weakened or drained and everything else. And it's actually a more interesting fight because it's a very close one now. Buatsi at a few days' notice against Parker, who's a good fighter himself. But the main event's frightening, and young Josh Padley getting involved is brilliant for him. You know, he's got the kids on a building site. One day gets a phone call off his manager. Listen, you might be able to go over to Saudi and fight one of the best fighters in the world, or of possibly, a lot will say, hopefully it might get proven that way. He could be one of the best of this generation, the talent that he is, in Shakur Stevenson. And you're probably going to get 100 times maximum pace what you've got already, or at least close to that. Complete life-changing money, mortgage paid off and more. So I'm buzzing for the lads. I'm really happy for them, and that shows you the beauty of these shows and how good they are.
Yeah, absolutely. And on to the main topic of this week. How has Callum been? Obviously, it's a fight that a lot of people are looking forward to. A lot of people have said this week this is their pick of the card. Callum has that experience. He's been in there. Like, his two losses come to arguably two of the greatest fighters of our generation, in Canelo and Beterbiev. How ready is he for Buatsi on Saturday?
No, he's very ready. He's 100%. His camp's gone well, and you won't hear me saying that if it hasn't. I knew his last one didn't go well. I'm not saying his camp's gone great. It's just it's one of the things. He's ready. He's here, but his camp's gone well now, and he's obviously a very dangerous fighter, very accomplished fighter, and he's been there already. What Buatsi is trying to do, and what other fighters in the light heavyweight division in Britain are trying to do. I didn't think these big domestic fights would happen, and although it's in Saudi Arabia, it's a huge domestic fight between two of the top light heavyweights in Britain. But I didn't think they would ever happen, if you know what I mean, because I felt Callum, being former world champion at Super Middle and Ring Magazine belt holder, once he steps up and he wins some out light heavyweight, he's straight away the number one anyway, and the rest have to try and emulate what he's already done, albeit at the weight below. So this fight is, timing's everything, and people always talk about timing and crossroads fights. If he wins, he's the new guard, and then if he wins, the old fella still got it left, and it was a step too soon. But with Buatsi, I don't think it is a step too soon because obviously he's been around for 9 years now as a pro, so we can't keep sort of looking at it as just a young prospect coming through in the crossroads fight. It's a fighter who could be coming towards the end himself with his age, and against a fighter in Callum who's already been there and wants to go and try and do it again and get himself up for it again. But really confident in Callum. I think once he starts finding the target, hits stupidly hard, and technically he's very, very correct, and there's a lot more in the tank than Buatsi, as I say, in my opinion. So I'm very confident.
So experience being a big factor in the fight tomorrow.
Yeah, I saw something yesterday. Who's got the best resume, and loads of people like Buatsi. I'm like, Callum's been in with Canelo and Batavia. He didn't beat the both of them. He beat George Gomes for the title. He's beat a former world champion. He's boxed former world champions. He's beat a few former world champions. I don't think Buatsi has, and it does count. It does help your development. It does make you a better fighter. If you're beating better fighters, or you're in the ring, sharing the ring with better fighters, and Callum's certainly done that more than Buatsi. So I'm not just clutching at straws looking for things to say why I believe it. I strongly believe Callum beats him and possibly knocks him out.
I just want to jump beyond the last crescendo and talk about April 26th. Another brother of yours, Liam, is going up against a OOOSCH sponsored boxer in young Aaron McKenna, and I interviewed both him and his brother Stevie there a few weeks ago, and I said this to you during the week. He's nothing but respect for Liam, and it's a big fight for him going up against someone like Liam as well. What's your take on that?
It's a huge fight for him. I like the pair of them. I like them all. You know, the family, the mum, the dad, the nice people, the good people. It's just business, and that's what it is. I watched Stevie's fight last time when he lost, and I felt for him, and I just think he got it wrong on the night. And he fights too much with Dan, a lot of passion, a lot of pride, and balls and fitness, and that's how he is. And Aaron's like that as well. Aaron can box a bit better, and I think obviously that'll either be the making or breaking of him, in their opinion, in this fight. That's what they'll be trying to do. But I think they'll know they have to be smart with Liam as a team, as boxing men. But I'm obviously confident in Liam and what Liam can do, and in Liam's ability. And Liam is obviously supremely confident for the fight, and he's more than happy with it. And he's in camp, he's working hard. Once he gets fit and gets in shape and starts sparring and starts finding his eye, I think he'll really enjoy it and be back where he wants to be after a long time out.
It should be a great fight, and we are looking forward to it. All of us here want to go away from boxing because we can do that, because we're not primarily a boxing channel. Are Liverpool going to win the league?
I'm confident. I'm confident, to be honest with you. I think if it was City chasing us, not Arsenal, I'd be less confident. But I'm very confident in us. We've just got to keep winning and just keep turning up and keep winning and keep putting the work in what they're doing. The way they're playing brilliantly at the moment. Had a couple of tough games, got a couple more tough games coming. But if we ride,
drawn with PSG in the Champions League, is that right?
Just seen the draw. That's your reward for finishing top of the league in the Champions League. You get PSG in the first game in the knockout rounds. But listen, I'm confident with PSG. We hopefully should be okay. It sounds mad. I'm probably not like all the other Reds, but the Champions League is the pinnacle of everything, obviously. But I just want to win that league again.
You're a reasonable Red. You're Mr. OOOSCH, the fellow who runs OOOSCH, he's a big Red, and he's a reasonable Red too. Yeah. Like, he's been consoling me ever since I started working. He goes, it'll be okay, United will come back one day.
I'm a reasonable Red in the fact that I didn't want to see Everton go down. It was all my family, my friends are Blues, and it wouldn't have been good for the city, but I would pay good money to see United go down. So I would.
No comment.
No, I'm reasonable, as in I'm quite realistic, but I'm reasonable also as in Liverpool. If we win this league, we're officially the most successful club in the country because of the Champions Leagues that we've won. We catch up with United, which we should never have really let them get past that, but we did because we had a terrible patch. But I think this is United's terrible patch now, and it took us 20 odd years, nearly 30 years or so, or possibly 30 years, and it's going to be very hard for United. I can't see them turn it around in, let's say, 2 seasons to start challenging for the league again, especially where they are now. It's a complete rebuild job. It could be taking another 5 to 6 years, and I think it's probably been 14, 15 or something now, or maybe more. And again, I'm not saying 12 years. I'm not saying this trying to like just put United down.
You're talking from experience, yeah.
Talking from experience, fucking phenomenal club, massive club. I can't stand the fact that it's a massive club, but they are. And I remember I used to go to the ground when I was younger. I've sat in the Stretford end. I've sat all round in the old men when I couldn't get tickets. And you're looking around thinking, like, what a ground. Every time you want something, you should invest into the stadium. And then it's 70,000 capacity every week, sold out. We're starting to do that now. We're up to the 60s, and it's helping, obviously, financially. Arsenal, even, they used to invest. They had a brand new stadium. They get top 4 football every year, and we'd struggle to get top 4 at the time. That was our dark period, but I think United are in that now. Just speaking as a Liverpool fan, that's what I'm seeing, and I don't think any manager's really the answer at the minute. I think there's a lot of players in there who are down in tools all the time. Saw it recently with Everton, and they're doing great again with David Moyes, and I was at the derby the night at Goodison last time, being there, looking around, thinking it's weird not going to come back here again, but I can't stand them when I'm in there, and I want us to batter them at least fucking 5-0 every time. But
that's the thing.
I see them go down. You know what I mean?
I can't stand Liverpool, but I respect the history and tradition of that club. And I said this to you the other day. I said, there's never been a proper title race between those two clubs, United and Liverpool, where it's gone down to the wire. Yes, there was 2009, but I think United won it with 3 games to go.
There was little bits in there. That was the Rafa 1-1, and I think when the
facts.
Yeah, the facts, and it was good. And I laughed with you, and I talked about Ferguson saying like, I think you'd done a good impression of him, but I was talking about like, I hated him, couldn't stand him when he was at United because he won everything. He beat us every year, and he beat us all the time. And I always loved Kenny Dalglish. He's always been my favourite, but I fucking respect him. I respect him massively. What he did, he's a born winner, and you know what he's done speaks for itself at United. He'll have a legacy for the rest of the time. Never mind the rest of his life or anyone else's. But I think obviously the managers we've had since then now, especially Klopp and now with Slot, I'm really pleasantly surprised with Slot, how fast he's took to it. I love his attitude, I love how he speaks, I love how he sees football, if you know what I mean. It sounds cheesy, but he's calm, he wants everyone working hard, but he's calm with it. I like the fact that he's giving a little bit back to the referees and that, me as well, because we don't normally see that. And people just say he's moan, Klopp used to moan, but Slot's actually giving it back to him in a bit of a cheeky way, where he's
stripped back on kind of the attacking sense of play that Liverpool had under Klopp. It's still there, but I think they're defensively they're a far more composed unit in that sense.
It's a bit slower and it's a bit, again, I go to the match every week. I've got my season tickets and I go, but I'm not a football expert. But how I'm seeing it, and I always ask the lads in the gym or any of the lads who've played football for a living, and I always just ask them questions because they know more. They're the pros. Like with Klopp, all I used to see was out to the wings, bombing on out to the wings, and with Slot, I'm seeing a lot more through the middle. I'm seeing Gravenberg come into it a lot more. McAllister coming into it. The midfield this season's been phenomenal. It's Gravenberg, McAllister, knocking everything through them too, and then Jones comes in now and then. But it's been the same but different, if you know what I mean. Well, it sounds cheesy. It's still got that element of Klopp, but it's definitely Slot's way of playing, and I'm impressed with it. I'm happy with it, but long may it continue. I'll never ever get tired of Liverpool challenge, winning cups or trophies, and I'll never ever get tired and bored of seeing the United losing.
Paul Smith, always a pleasure, my man. Take care, pal.
Cheers, mate.